signs, you should know that a narcissist wants to hurt you again. Narcissistic relationships come in various forms, encompassing friends, parents, partners, children, pastors, coworkers, and more. Despite the differences in these relationships, all narcissists share striking similarities in their behavior. Whether you've cut off contact with them or successfully kept them at bay by ignoring or avoiding them, the warning signs I'll discuss today typically aren't keen on permanently severing ties or discarding a source of supply. While there may appear to be exceptions, such as when they believe they've found the perfect new supply or are enjoying newfound freedom or success, these situations are often short-lived. Over time, the allure fades, and many narcissists seize the opportunity to rekindle old connections. Despite any past mistreatment or hurt inflicted during the relationship, narcissists crave validation and desire to be wanted by those they left behind. So, if you suspect that an ex-narcissist is attempting to re-enter your life, keep an eye out for these warning signs. They may be trying to reclaim their place in your world. When you make the decision to go no contact, whether you initiated it or not, it's not a move the narcissist applauds. They'll often attempt to break your resolve, especially when they're ready to re-enter your life. Today, let's explore some telltale signs that indicate a narcissist is itching to make a comeback. It's crucial to understand that their return isn't fueled by genuine love, but by the need for narcissistic supply and the desire to regain control over you. So, it's wise to keep that door firmly shut and never entertain the idea of letting them back in. Undercover operations. One of the initial red flags signaling a narcissist's desire to re-enter your life is their sudden activity on your social media posts or their discreet surveillance of your profiles. They'll stealthily gather intel on your romantic, social, and emotional status to strategize their next move. Using either a fake account or their own, they'll lurk in the shadows, assessing the situation. Cloaked identity. Alternatively, they might employ an anonymous phone number to reach out to you, aiming to catch you off guard or weaken your defenses before revealing themselves. The narcissist thrives on the element of surprise, using anonymity as a tool of manipulation. Breaking news. In some cases, they may opt for a more direct approach, delivering messages with significant news or events intended to prompt you to break your silence. Whether offering condolences for a loss or fabricating tales of personal hardship, they seek to elicit sympathy and reel you back in. Their goal is to lure you into reopening communication lines, as it marks the first step in their bid to regain control and resume their manipulation tactics. Once you engage with a narcissist, every word and action from their end becomes a calculated maneuver aimed at ensnaring you further. Verbose correspondence. Another glaring sign to watch out for is receiving lengthy letters or emails from them filled with elaborate explanations or excuses regarding why the relationship faltered, all under the guise of offering closure. However, it's crucial to recognize that narcissists have no genuine interest in providing closure. Instead, these verbose missives are carefully crafted to create the illusion that they've moved on and only wish the best for you. Yet, it's merely a ploy to lure you back into their grasp. They aim to elicit any form of reaction from you, be it anger, joy, or surprise. Any emotional response serves as validation to the narcissist that you're still emotionally invested, providing them with fodder for manipulation. Surprise encounters. Another telltale sign to be wary of is when the narcissist suddenly appears in places you frequent. If you consistently spot them in your vicinity, it's likely not a mere coincidence. They may approach you, initiating small talk or offering compliments on your appearance, all designed to disarm you and diminish any sense of threat you may feel. However, it's crucial to recognize that any reaction, positive or negative, only fuels the narcissist's ego. Whether you're taken aback, pleased, or irritated by their presence, it serves to gratify them. The best course of action is to swiftly disengage from their conversation and assert your disinterest in interacting with them. By clearly conveying that their presence holds no significance to you, you assert your boundaries and prevent them from manipulating your emotions further. The messenger. Another red flag indicating a narcissist's attempt to re-enter your life is when they deploy a flying monkey. This individual acts as a liaison, tasked with gathering intel from you to report back to the narcissist, or delivering messages intended to manipulate you into reaching out. They may even attempt to persuade you to break your silence and re-establish contact. However, their allegiance to the narcissist is evident, making it imperative to steer clear of them. After all, anyone aligned with the narcissist should not be considered a friend of yours. Closing remarks. In conclusion, breaking through the no-contact barrier is a significant victory for the narcissist, indicating a lingering emotional connection they can exploit. Therefore, if you still harbor emotions or feel vulnerable, it's crucial not to engage with any attempts at contact. Block and disregard any new avenues the narcissist employs to reach you. Inform your loved ones about the situation and reaffirm your commitment to maintaining distance from this individual. They can offer support and may even intervene on your behalf. Remember, maintaining no contact is paramount. Silence is your strongest defense against narcissists. That wraps it up for today. I trust you found this insightful. Don't forget to like and share if you found it helpful. Wishing you all a wonderful week ahead. Thank you for tuning in. Allow me to extend my greetings with a hearty hello and a warm welcome. In this presentation, our focal point will be on individuals characterized as narcissists in their later stages of life. Do they find themselves unable to acknowledge the relentless march of time? In simpler terms, do they undergo any form of growth? I'm particularly intrigued by the concept of their evolution and whether such transformations lean towards positivity or negativity. Moreover, a pressing concern is the security and well-being of their dear ones in the external world. As these individuals mature, how do their loved ones perceive the dynamics of their relationship with the aging narcissist? Given the inherent complexities and exceptions, it proves challenging to provide definitive answers to these inquiries. Nonetheless, let's direct our attention towards some prevalent challenges encountered by geriatric narcissists and explore potential remedies. With these considerations in mind, I trust you'll find value in this presentation and consider subscribing to my channel. It's essential to note that a sense of entitlement is often a hallmark trait of narcissists. An individual may exhibit tendencies towards combative behavior and self-centeredness. Such individuals are often excessively sensitive, defensive, and resistant to criticism. Those accustomed to positions of authority frequently resort to manipulative tactics, driven by an insatiable thirst for control and dominance. Over time, they may have found themselves estranged from past companions and lovers due to neglect in nurturing friendships and relationships in their youth. Alternatively, it's plausible that others distance themselves for their own well-being. Despite their outward demeanor, narcissists, like everyone else, can experience moments of profound loneliness, which may exacerbate feelings of severe depression. Consequently, they may strive to establish new connections or rekindle old ones by accentuating their perceived positive attributes. In the tumultuous journey of narcissists, their mid-30s often mark a phase of denial. Some among them grapple with an acute sense of vanity, convinced of their unparalleled allure despite the harsh reality. The concept of losing this magnetism in the distant future remains inconceivable to them. Even as they tread through middle age, many narcissists find themselves overly sensitive to the inevitable signs of aging. Some resort to desperate measures, accruing debt in their pursuit to defy the relentless march of time. Hair dyes, trendy attire, and anti-aging elixirs become their arsenal in the battle against wrinkles and grey hairs, striving to present a facade of eternal youth. As middle age beckons, narcissistic mothers embark on a quest to emulate their daughters' youthfulness. A subtle compliment likening them to their siblings becomes a potent tonic for their ego. Yet, in more extreme cases, these mothers may cross boundaries, attempting to entice or captivate their daughters' partners. Meanwhile, a narcissistic father assumes a regal stance within the familial hierarchy, expecting obeisance from his progeny. In his eyes, he is not merely a patriarch, but the sovereign ruler of the household, viewing all others, including his descendants, as potential challengers to his supremacy. The narcissist revels in recounting tales of their triumphs, perpetually comparing themselves favorably to their peers. Moreover, narcissistic parents are adept at overshadowing their offspring, reluctant to let their children bask in individual achievements. Should their offspring achieve success independently, the narcissistic parent is swift to swoop in and claim undue credit, leaving their children to navigate a landscape fraught with rejection, criticism, and clandestine sabotage. In the intricate dance between narcissistic parents and their adult offspring, the establishment of healthy boundaries can often trigger a strategic pivot. When confronted with their child's newfound independence, the narcissist may seek alternative avenues to exert influence, often turning to their grandchildren as unwitting pawns in their game of manipulation. Showering these innocent souls with extravagant gifts and undue attention, the narcissistic grandparent crafts a narrative of indispensability, further alienating the child's parents and sowing seeds of discord within the family unit. As the spectre of divorce looms, narcissistic grandparents may escalate their efforts to maintain control, fearing the potential loss of access to their beloved grandchildren. Mobilizing resources, they arm their young charges with mobile phones, fostering a direct line of communication and circumventing parental authority. Such gestures, though ostensibly benign, serve as a subtle reinforcement of the narcissist's supremacy, casting parental concerns as unfounded and unwarranted. Yet, beneath the veneer of generosity lies a darker motive. In the event of marital dissolution, narcissistic grandparents may view the former spouse as a threat to their continued influence and embark on a campaign of character assassination. Blinded by their own delusions of grandeur, they fail to recognize the irreparable harm inflicted upon their own flesh and blood, trading familial harmony for a fleeting illusion of control. As the sands of time erode their once formidable facade, aging narcissists grapple with the harsh reality of their diminishing allure. Stripped of the physical prowess that once defined their existence, they find solace in the echoes of past glories, weaving tales of triumph to cloak their insecurities. Yet, in their desperate bid for validation, they fail to grasp the evolving landscape of success, lamenting the perceived ease with which today's youth navigate the trials of life. In their relentless pursuit of significance, narcissists cling to the tattered remnants of their past achievements, yearning for a legacy that transcends the confines of mortality. Yet, in their fixation on the past, they remain blind to the infinite possibilities that lie ahead, ensnared in a web of their own making, forever chasing the elusive mirage of fulfillment. In contrast, some individuals stagnate, remaining trapped in a state of perpetual immaturity. Their reactions to adversity, often mirror those of petulant children, resorting to temper tantrums as a misguided form of protest when faced with rejection. Their demeanor veers towards the extreme, oscillating between fits of rage and bouts of despondency as they grapple with the perceived injustices of society. Fueled by bitterness and disillusionment, they recount tales of failed endeavors and shattered dreams, lamenting the perceived betrayals of those they once held dear. Moreover, my observations reveal a troubling tendency among narcissists to nurse grudges with an almost pathological fervor. Time fails to dull the sharp edges of past grievances, as these wounded souls cling to their perceived slights with unwavering tenacity. Despite their attempts to downplay their own shortcomings, the echoes of their selfishness and indiscretions refuse to be silenced. Rather than confront their flaws, narcissists deflect blame onto others, perpetuating a cycle of denial and victimhood. Indeed, the allure of victimhood serves as a seductive siren song for narcissists, offering a convenient scapegoat for their own misdeeds. Unwilling to confront the consequences of their actions, they retreat into a narrative of persecution, absolving themselves of accountability. Thus, the tendrils of destructive behavior continue to ensnare them, weaving a tangled web of self-deception and resentment. When narcissists succumb to their vengeful impulses, they risk severing the bonds with those few individuals who hold genuine significance in their lives. The roots of control and manipulation run deep, sprouting from a myriad of sources that transcend age barriers. When ensnared in the throes of isolation, their inability to seek genuine assistance perpetuates a cycle of despair. Rather than fixating solely on their own desires, narcissists must explore alternative avenues for fulfillment, lest their Machiavellian tactics backfire and elicit polite refusals or outright resistance from those they seek to manipulate. Furthermore, the encroaching shadow of younger generations can instill a sense of existential dread in older narcissists, triggering feelings of inadequacy and insecurity. As the sands of time trickle away, they grapple with the complexities of power dynamics, recognizing their waning influence in an ever-evolving world. In the elaborate dance of deception, covert narcissists shroud themselves in the cloak of perpetual victimhood, weaving a tapestry of woes to justify their actions. Despite a relentless pursuit of relief through futile consultations and fruitless remedies, their torment remains unabated. No elixir exists to heal their afflictions, condemning them to a perpetual state of anguish. The echoes of past traumas reverberate through their consciousness, casting a somber shadow over their mortality. In the face of such formidable adversity, hope withers, leaving them stranded in the abyss of despair. To maintain appearances, they may don the facade of cheerfulness in public, masking the indifference of their progeny. Yet, when immersed in activities they cherish, they find solace in temporary respite from their ailments. However, the passage of time inflicts a heavy toll, breeding self-destructive outbursts born from decades of resentment. Though arrogance may linger, the erosion of confidence is palpable, leaving behind a hollow shell of former grandiosity. As the years march on and mobility wanes, elder narcissists reluctantly concede to reliance on others. Yet, their abrasive demeanor and dwindling social circles make such dependency a bitter pill to swallow. Bereft of genuine companionship and faced with dwindling options, they navigate the twilight years burdened by the weight of their own making. At any moment, the fragile facade of narcissistic invincibility may crumble, plunging them into a tumultuous abyss of self-realization. Confronted with the stark reality of their isolation, they find themselves adrift, bereft of allies and devoid of refuge. Their carefully crafted web of deception unravels, leaving them exposed and impotent, their once formidable arsenal of manipulation rendered obsolete. With no defenseless prey to prey upon, they spiral into a frenzied state of desperation, grasping at shadows in a futile attempt to reclaim their lost dominance. Turning to the intricacies of aging narcissists and their impact on intimate relationships, one cannot ignore the palpable unease that accompanies the inexorable march of time. Those who have suffered beneath the narcissist's iron fist may nurse simmering resentment, yet even they may find themselves wrestling with unexpected pangs of regret. As the curtain falls on a lifetime of manipulation and coercion, the harsh glare of reality illuminates the wreckage left in its wake, compelling both victim and tormentor alike to confront the lingering ghosts of their shared past. Fed up with enduring a barrage of criticism, deceit, and unfulfilled demands, they finally reach their breaking point, unleashing their pent-up frustration. Despite this outburst, sympathy still lingers for their plight. The news of someone's grave illness, even if estranged for years, often prompts an instinctive urge to reconnect. In a surprising turn of events, the later stages may reveal glimpses of improvement as the narcissist exhausts their arsenal of falsehoods, paving the way for potential reconciliation. With nothing left to gain from deception, the possibility of truce negotiations emerges, offering victims the long-awaited apologies and closure they seek. It could be argued that in moments of solitude, stripped of the need for pretense and devoid of ulterior motives, narcissists may find themselves confronting uncomfortable truths and offering genuine contrition. Yet, this newfound humility may be accompanied by a pang of regret as they reflect on their tarnished reputation and missed opportunities for genuine connection. This narrative encapsulates the complex journey of an aging narcissist, evolving amidst the backdrop of introspection and self-discovery. As always, I'm here to provide guidance and support. If you found value in this video, consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching. Without a question, narcissists have very disturbing personality traits. But we should think about whether there are more covert ways to keep ourselves safe. Could it be that all the things we think we know about them are just covers for their insecurities? People who are calm and sure of themselves have flaws, which suggests that narcissists have fears just like everyone else. It becomes very important to figure out why they are afraid. Before anything else, I'd like to say hello and welcome to the day. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. How insecure narcissists really feel is what we're talking about today. I've talked about their insecurities before, but I haven't made a movie that explains why this is the case. Narcissists often tell themselves they can't have low self-esteem because they are so proud of how important they think they are. But this assumption is not at all true. In reality, narcissists are people who have a lot of fears. Their world is filled with fear, worry, and inner turmoil. Their frail egos find it hard to deal with the real world, which is why they hide their weaknesses behind masks. The act of showing weakness is very scary for them, because they don't show it very often in public. Still, I'm going to explain the obvious signs of narcissistic insecurity so you can spot them in other people. The first thing we should talk about is how narcissists often act cocky and full of themselves. For them, the goal is to give the impression that they are completely happy, have reached all of their goals, and live in a league of their own. In the end, narcissists need constant support for their delusions, which they usually get by surrounding themselves with people who believe what they're saying. When they are faced with the truth, it hits their weak egos like a rock, making them defensive and hurt. Narcissists hate it when people finally see through their act and reveal who they really are. Any reference to their flaws is seen as an attack on their person, meant to put them down. Human narcissists feel the pain of unfair criticism just like everyone else. When we say things that hurt them, We break their false image and question their beliefs. They are very self-conscious and will do anything to get other people to like them. When narcissists do things and say things that are seen as positive, they are attracting what is called narcissistic supply. On the inside, though, they've built their lives on shaky ground, and when their lies come apart, the results will be predictable. Here is when their darkest feelings of shame and low self-worth come to the surface. Luckily, there are clear signs that can help us spot narcissists, since they may be very good at hiding their flaws. Thank you for taking part in this talk. Please feel free to share any thoughts or ideas you may have in the area below for comments. I also want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for future changes if you haven't already. Again, I want to say how much I value your attendance and participation. One way to deal with narcissists is to see them through their projection, which can be just as harmful as any of their other traits. To boost their own self-esteem, they always feel the need to put other people down. A lot of egotistical traits are linked to gossiping and being mean to other people. It's important to stress that they enjoy our problems and think it's funny to shame other people all the time. People who are narcissists have low self-worth and enjoy seeing others have the same low self-worth. Another sign of their insecurity is that they are obsessed with showing off their material goods and accomplishments. Also, narcissists talk about themselves and their accomplishments all the time, as if telling more about their lives would make people more interested in them. They get pleasure from bragging about recent successes, which makes people around them wonder what might be missing in their own lives. On the outside, they look like they have it all together, beautiful kids and an overall great life, but deep down, they are very hurt. Their act of fake modesty is just another way for them to get attention, because they want you to think that their life is much easier than yours. In fact, it often comes off as a subtle form of bragging. This is called humblebragging, and it happens when someone acts humble while really bragging. In professional situations, people with problematic narcissism may be humble and open to constructive criticism, but they are always looking for approval and praise. Narcissists only care about what they can show off and think that everything else is useless. This gives people a chance to use humble brags to promote themselves and get good feedback. Narcissistic uncertainty is also shown by people who refuse to accept their situations as they are. On the outside, they may seem to have a great life, but inside they may be unhappy. Narcissists are always unhappy because they have high expectations for themselves and others, and are always trying to live up to those standards. They can't be happy because they always feel like something is missing. There is so much more hidden behind their image. Projecting, talking about how humble you are, and being unhappy all the time are all signs of narcissistic insecurity. It is important to remember, though, that narcissists are some of the dishonest people you may meet. Please remember that you should use these lessons to keep yourself safe, and be careful when you're around narcissistic people. Narcissists are very good at putting on masks to hide how they really feel and what drives them. They want power over others because they deeply believe they are less important than others. This makes us powerless pawns in their game. Nasty people think that the only way to feel strong is to make other people feel weak and helpless. It's important to keep in mind, though, that the narcissist's worries might not always be clear. Even though they are good at hiding their nervousness, it often shows up in the way they act and react to different things. Narcissists try to hide their emotional scars, fears, and shame, but what we say and do can bring out these buried feelings and tear down their inflated sense of self-importance. The narcissist feels all of these different feelings at the same time. They try to keep other people from feeling the pain they are feeling. Even though they seem confident on the outside, they are really filled with fear and self-doubt. There is no way for them to fully satisfy their wants, no matter how hard they try to trick themselves into thinking they are someone else. This ensures that you will always be unhappy and dissatisfied. Again, I really hope that this conversation was helpful and educational for you. Feel free to write your ideas and thoughts in the space below. Also, if you want to know when new videos are uploaded, please subscribe to this channel and turn on the warning bell. I really appreciate you taking the time to interact with this information, and it means a lot to me. Thanks a lot.